Well, we've got a series of games in 5A, and they're against some perennial powers, man. I'm not going to lie to you. In Flower Bluff, Cal Allen, GP, you're talking about some of the best teams South Texas has ever had. And yet, I will tell you this, neither Cal Allen nor Gregory Portland is as good as it was in the past. I promise you. Cal Allen 7-4, GP 7-4. You know, we're going to find out whether those teams are still better than us, even with a subpar team. I think we're going to break 3. I really feel like I'm seeing a Sherryland win. But we're not there yet. Okay. Let's start in Division 1. I'm tantalizing with that.
First game, Vela versus Victoria West.
This is a very intriguing matchup, and it's gotten more intriguing the more I hear about the injuries that West has. This is not trying to set a trap for the Vela Sabercats, but their big running back, 29, Shelton, I believe, is out with a knee. Now, Victoria West is 9-2. They played Flower Bluff tough, only lost by 8. Their other loss was to Victoria East, the city rival, 24-21. It's a very good team. Vela can win except for one thing.
What's that?
It's not a thing, it's a person. Right.
Oh, yes.
Their quarterback, who is about 5'9", 165, his name is Jamarcus Gertie. Now, you're going to recognize him because he wears number 26, which is a weird number for a quarterback.
Yeah, it's running back.
19, 20, right, exactly. He's going to be a cornerback. That guy's got 1,500 rushing, 1,200 passing. He is the type of athlete that you cannot possibly have seen this year unless you're watching games on TV.
Yeah.
High school games on TV. He's phenomenal. Junior.
Look, if anybody has a chance to win, besides Sherryland, it's Vela, because Vela still, look, they're 5A in classification only. They got 6A talent because they've got in size. So
you look at Victoria West, and I've done a lot of looking. I watched them play Tolosa Midway, Gregory Portland. I watched a bunch of games, man. The kid will just go to the house. He's got tremendous speed, tremendous moves. He doesn't throw that well. In fact, he's got a bad motion, but he gets it there. And the thing is, man, he is so quick. He can do so many things in the pocket. Here's the thing. Their defense is small. Their defense is fast. They're hitters, but none of them are that big. They got one big dude, 62, sits in the middle like a big lump, like a beanbag chair. He ain't that good. I'm telling you, if Vela plays the way it has the last 2 weeks, it'll be right with West. I think so.
How's Vela's health? Are they still... Where are their nicks at?
They're doing fine except for that power running back, Anthony Adelanto, went out in the second quarter with a knee. I think it's a sprain. I don't think it was a go to the hospital thing. If he cannot go, that takes away one stool leg that you have, because Robert Guetta's the outside fast back, but I'll tell you what, he's tougher. We're going to talk about it in a minute. It means that if Anthony can't play, it means that Eber's going to run 15 or 20 times. Now, they've been saving him this year because they didn't want to get him hurt. That's my feeling.
Yeah.
But he's going to run 20 times against Victoria West if Anthony doesn't play, because he'll go up the middle. You know. All
right. So let's say they do win. Who would they face in the second round or third round?
Alamo Heights. Yeah, Alamo Heights is going to beat LBJ to death. That's Austin LBJ. They're not that good. Alamo Heights is really good. They're very precise offense. So that's who it's going to be. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Vela PSJA game, because I was there Tuesday, 2:30 Saturday. It was great. The one thing I noticed right off the bat at Edinburgh North and at PSJA, the home crowds weren't as big as I thought they were going to be. And I'm not trying to be ugly to anyone. It was weird because both visiting crowds really brought the noise, you know, and I think it helped their kids get fired up.
Yeah. Well, if you look at, there's just the PSJA stadium too is just
the cavernous. It kind of swallows you up.
Yeah, it's too big. So you lose that. You lose that home field. Yeah.
Right. The Bears were going to have to control the ball, and they did not. They only had 4 first downs in the first half. Vela scored at will, man. I mean, Eber Lope, 15 out of 19, 5 touchdowns in the game, 4 to Elijah Reyna. He was throwing everything you want to throw. I mean, God, they picked him apart, man. They ran for a ton of yards. Robert Guerra. Now, here's the thing. Robert Guerra had 133 yards as a sophomore. He's not about 160 pounds, and he got popped a few times. I wrote about it. I mean, Bobby Wahardo, one of my favorite players ever, by the way, I'll admit it. He came across the field, and he launched himself like a missile, and he just crushed Robert Guerra. But you know what? Who got up first? Homeboy from Vela, man. He's tough as a boot. Christian hit him so hard one time, I felt like I was hearing cannon shots from World War I in the trenches. Boom! And everybody on the sidelines was just freaked out. But you know what? Kid popped up. He's a 1,000-yard back. He's going to be one of the best running backs in the Valley next year, and they're going to need him to have a big game against Victoria West. I feel like the defense is exploitable, if you will. If Vela plays offense like it's been playing, they're going to win the game. They just want to make sure that one kid doesn't beat him because he's be the best player on the field.
Now, if he has to be the featured back, will it be kind of like Whiteside's, where he it's different when you have
No, because you have a quarterback who can run and a better offensive line.
Okay.
Those are the things that kept Northam being that good. And I'm not, again, this is my opinion. What do I know? Vela's got a pretty good offensive line the last 2 weeks. The last 2 weeks, that line and the defense have played so well, it's made Vela a complete team. I feel like they're one of the best teams in the Valley right now. They need to go up there and not be intimidated. Victoria West, who cares, man? Now, let's just mow them down and get to the third round. What if? It could happen.
Now the next
Another Saturday game.
Yeah. Now the next game, it's Flower Bluff versus Mission Vets, and Mission Vets had a tough game against Donna.
Yeah, well, like I said, they got up big. 17-0 big. They didn't have a lot of offense. I'm still wondering. They had 222 and they had 115 yards of penalties. They hung on against Donna because Donna was scrappy, man. I give Coach Ramiro Leal and them credit, man, because they fought back from the brink. We had them buried in the grave at about week 5, and those cats made the playoffs, and they almost won this ball game. I felt like they did a good job.
Yeah, I think so too. When I saw them being down 17-0, I'm like, oh, it's going to be even bigger. Next time I check the scores, 17-0, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, they're coming back.
And they did 2 touchdowns. Your buddy came off the injured list there, Doherty, and
Doherty,
a couple of touchdown passes, run for one. So Vets, here's what they need. Well, first of all, tell them about Flower Bluff. You know some of the facts.
All right. Flower Bluff has a record of 34-3 over the last 3 years. So,
well, how much did they average per win in the last decade?
106 and 30.
Yeah.
Right?
10.6 wins per year. This is one of the premier programs in South Texas.
They're a little good.
They're tough.
They're
pretty fast. But they're just tenacious, man.
Yeah.
And they run stuff in a hurry, and they get on you, and they keep hitting you. Pop, 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 pop. There's a bunch of guys that get to the ball. They're ranked number 6 in the state, man.
Yeah.
So what is going to have to happen for Vets to win? Your prescription for victory for the mysterious Gilpin. He already has his own.
This has to be, quarterback.
Oh, I remember. Number 1?
What's
Santos
his name?
has to have the best game of his life.
Yep.
He has not. He's had rather pedestrian numbers the last couple of weeks. I think he's still getting back.
And he's got to play good against the good teams. Like he's got, he's got to show up. And this has to be his coming out party. As far as we realize that he's probably going to be a safety in college, but they need him to be the all-star quarterback that we all thought he was going to be.
And he is. Look at this guy, man. Write the letter to him.
No, but I thought Santos was going to.
He struggled, man.
But he got hurt, and it's so he hasn't had the year that he probably could have had.
And here's the thing: they've got the weapons around him. Santos will, I predict, he will go out with a great game, and it's going to take that, and it may not be enough because they're the team that's up against us the most. Absolutely, Flower Bluff is very good, and yet again. What have we seen this year in the playoffs? Don't be counting them chickens, Flower Bluff, because Vets has some athletes and weapons, and let's see what that defense can do against Flower Bluff, man. I'm hopeful that Vets will compete. I'm not terribly hopeful that they'll come out victorious, but if they do, then more power to them. We'll certainly be rooting for them. How's that?
Yeah.
And here, we already mentioned Max Habecker at Roma. Mage Riqueñas, go back to Palmview.
Yeah.
Michael Salinas at Vela. You start making your list of coaches of the year candidates or coach of the year candidates.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you can. But
Chavez got to be on there too, right?
Oh, I think Chavez again. Yeah. For what he's done in the second half of the season, yeah.
And I'll tell you what, we're going to come back with some awards
in a
couple of weeks. What?
If they win, if Vets wins, who would they face?
Well, they play a couple of teams you might never heard of. You know where Lockhart is?
Yeah, I have no clue.
Lockhart is up in Central Texas. The Lions, I played them when I was in Little League. They had a 6-foot-tall quarterback. He was 12 years old. They beat our butts. Yeah. Against Vandergrift, which is from up in the Austin area. There's a bunch of new schools up there. So neither one, I think Lockhart's going to get beat because Vandergrift is better. But neither one of those teams is like a Cedar Park. Remember that?
Yeah.
So if you win this game, Vets, your game in the third round might be easier than the second round. Isn't that silly?
Yeah.
But that's the way it's working out. So anyway, that's Division 1, 5A. We're going to take a break. Again, mop our brows and come up with some other witticisms and maybe even tell the truth here occasionally. And we'll be back, Jake, right?
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah.